At Option Genius, we believe that you deserve freedom, financial freedom, so that you have no more worries and more than enough money. Time freedom, so that you could do what you want, when you want to do it. And choice freedom, to live your life on your terms. But the system and Wall Street are rigged against those little guys. So how do we fight back? Well, my friend, that's what this podcast is all about. My name is Alan Sama, and this is the Option Genius Podcast. Passive traders, guess what? My mind has been blown again. Okay, maybe it doesn't take that much to blow my mind, but I just finished rereading a book called The Future is Faster Than You Think. I might have even talked about it before, but this book is written by a guy named Peter Diamandis, and I guess you could call him a futurist, but he stays on top of and in contact with all the different technologies, the scientists that are coming up with doing all the research about what's going to happen in the future, how everything is going to be disruptive in different industries. So, what companies are doing what scientists are doing what new advancements are. He stays on top of all of that. And so in this book, he actually compiles and summarizes all the stuff that's going on in all these different industries like transportation, health, finances, advertising, retail, all these different aspects of life that are going to change in the next few years. And that is the really crazy part, that in the past, it took years and years and years for things to change. But as we've seen lately, things are changing much, much faster, and we really have to adapt to these changes. For example, when I was in high school, what was this, 1994 is when I graduated high school. There were no cell phones. I didn't have a cell phone. I had a beeper. I don't know if you guys remember beepers, but I had a beeper. And then came the cell phone. And then came the smartphone. And now people have smartphones even in the poorest of countries. And with a smartphone, you now have more information in your hands than Bill Clinton did when he was president of the United States. That's amazing. That's the power that we have nowadays. And so one of the things that he was talking about in this book, and I believe if you're interested in the future, like I am, it was so cool stuff, you really should pick up the book. And the thing that I wanted to talk about on this episode is the aspects of health and all of the new technologies that are coming out. For example, there is a company called Genesis. This is a pharmaceutical company, I guess you call them, but they're a new startup health company, and they have already gotten FDA approval, which means they can sell this new product to anybody they want for weight loss. It's a weight loss pill. And in their trials, right, they did FDA-approved trials with thousands of people. They give you this pill. On average, in 6 months, the people lost 22 pounds. And this is not a drug. It's an all-natural pill. Actually, it's 3 pills. You take it with water 30 minutes before you eat lunch, and then another 3 pills before you eat dinner every day. You do that, that's all you have to do. You don't have to change your diet. You don't have to exercise. You don't have to do anything else. Nothing. You do nothing except take these 3 pills 30 minutes before lunch with water, 30 minutes before dinner with water. That's it. And you will lose 20 pounds in 6 months. So 20 divided by 6, you're losing about 3.5 pounds a month without doing anything. This pill has already been proven to work. It's already FDA approved. It's going to be on the market for sale by the end of the year of 2020. That's their plan. And there are no side effects. Well, there might be a few side effects, but there's nothing artificial in this pill. There's no chemicals. There's no drugs. There's nothing. Everything in it is natural. The side effects, you might be bloated or you might get diarrhea depending on how it interacts with your stomach, right? Because that's what it is. It goes into your stomach, and this is how it works. You ingest the pills, you drink the water, whatever the stuff is inside the pill expands in your stomach, and it makes you feel full. And because you are full when it's lunchtime and dinner time, you don't eat as much. I mean, it's brilliant. It's simple. It's very easy to come up with this idea, but this company finally found a way to make it happen. Now, there might be others that are following them or even ahead of them. I don't know. I only know about this company. And FDA approval is a big deal, right? And it's coming out at the end of this year. What else is happening? Wow. Well, we've already heard about people getting face transplants. We've already heard about people or scientists that are able to grow organs. So if you need a new kidney, you need a new liver, they can grow the organ. Not only that, but there are other scientists who are doing 3D printing of organs. I don't even know how you 3D print organic material, but they have a way. They are printing organic material, printing organs. This is life-changing, crazy, crazy stuff. These things are going to be hitting the market. Right now, they're all in testing. They're going to be hitting the market within the next 10 years, okay? There's a book that just came out from a Harvard MD. It's called Lifespan. Now, I haven't read the book, but basically the gist of the book is that with all the current technological advances that we have, man should easily be able to live to 120 years old. Right now, average lifespan is what, in our 80s? Right? Depending, man, woman, how old you are, whatnot. But so we can expect to live in our 80s. Okay, great. Now they're saying 120 without much new advancements. But all these advancements are coming, right? Another aspect is a friend of mine who sells insurance. She told me that for cash value life insurance policies, or at least for whole value or whole life insurance with cash value, not term insurance, but with whole life insurance, what they used to do is and they still do this, but the thing changed. You put money in, right, every month, you pay the premium, and the cash value grows, supposedly. When you hit 100, they're like, oh, wow, you hit 100, congratulations, you beat the game. Here's your death benefit. So if it's $1 million policy, they're going to give you the whole $1 million, and they give you whatever cash value you had. So they give you the entire policy amount, they give you everything, and they cancel the policy when you get to 100 years old. Now, that's pretty cool. That's a really good encouragement to live to 100, right? Here's all this money. Go enjoy it. Go live your life. Awesome. Thank you. Woo-hoo. Right? Well, guess what? That number is no longer 100. The insurance companies have now changed that number to 120 because they're seeing what's happening. They're seeing what's going on. More and more people are hitting 100. They moved that number up to 120. And I believe they're going to have to move it again within the next 10 years or so because people are going to start getting close to that 120. All right. There is another fellow who was talking. He is a scientist. He has a company. They are dealing with a certain type of stem cells, right? So the actual cell name is called the precursor cell. And it's a one type of stem cells. It helps develop bones and in babies and all that stuff before we're actually physically material as people, or I don't know how you say it, but when the embryo is growing, these precursor cells go and develop stuff. And then they turn off or they go away. I'm not sure exactly what happens to them, but they're not there anymore. They're not active anymore. So this person, this scientist and his team have gone in and found a way to make these cells active again. And so now they're doing tests on dogs, and they're taking a 10-year-old dog, giving it these cells or reactivating these cells, and the dog body changes to become a young pup. Everything. The body, it doesn't get, it doesn't shrink in size or anything, but the brain function, the activity levels, the metabolism, the cell structure, everything, how the body of the dog works, it is as if the dog was only 1 or 2 years old. Now, this is a 10-year-old dog. And they have started trials on people. And they have one video that they show in their talks where there's a woman who's suffering from very late stage Alzheimer's. And she's at the point where she's almost catatonic, where she can barely move. So if her eyes are open and she's there, but if you move your hand in front of her face, she won't respond or anything like that. They gave her this therapy and she's up and about, walking, talking, totally changed. Alzheimer's, this could be a cure for Alzheimer's. When? Next 5 to 10 years. And when he was doing the talk, the guy was doing the lecture and showing the video, he could tell that the people in the audience were not really, they didn't care too much about Alzheimer's. They weren't like, oh my God, that's amazing. It's the best thing in the whole world. Great. And he was obviously looking for investors. So the people in the group, people in the audience were mostly men, older. And so he said, well, you guys might not be interested in Alzheimer's or curing Alzheimer's as much, but I can tell you that within the next 5 years, we will be able to regrow hair in your original hair color. And everybody went crazy. They're like, what? Oh my God, you can regrow hair. Ah. So yeah, you can tell some people, where their where their values lie. Oh, forget about Alzheimer's patients, but if you could put my hair on my head, all right, I'm definitely going to invest in this. But seriously, if you're interested, look this guy up, Peter Diamandis. Pick up this book, The Future is Faster Than You Think. And you can read about all these new technologies, all these new companies that are coming out. They're changing the way we use energy. He starts off the book talking about self-driving cars and flying cars and hyperloops and rocket cars, rocket ships that fly around the earth and take you from point A to point B. Then he goes into artificial intelligence and he goes into virtual reality and how things are changing in that realm. And it's just mind-blowing stuff. And I mean, I got myself a pair of virtual reality goggles to check it out. And they were the gimmicky ones, the $30 ones, but it's really cool stuff. Now, for my birthday, I told my wife, hey, I want the $500 band. I want the $500 virtual reality goggles because that is a whole new level. And if you see, there's a movie called Ready Player One. It's also a book turned into a movie. Basically, it is set in the future and everyone there, people don't like their life. So everybody puts on these virtual reality goggles, and they're always in a game. And everybody plays the same game, and you play the game, you fight, you do racing, you do all kinds of different things in the game. And the way that they show the people reacting in the game. So you put your goggles on, you are now a character in this whole new world. It's not Earth, it's somewhere else. You can do anything, you can jump, you can kill, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff. But if somebody touches you, you have to have special equipment. In the real world, you have to have gloves. So if you have gloves, like your virtual reality goggles, you can actually buy virtual reality gloves in real life today. You can buy a virtual reality suit and you put that on today. And so when you're in the virtual reality world and you touch something with your hand in the game or in virtual reality, you will feel it on your fingers. I'm not sure I'm not explaining this correctly. But there is a couple scientists. What they did was they went into one of the pyramids in Egypt. I think it was Cleopatra's tomb or Tut's tomb, or I don't know where they went. They went to one of the tombs and they went in and they took all the images and they took all the video, recorded everything, and they turned it into a virtual reality type experience. And now in schools, the kids can put on the goggles and they can go transported into the pyramid, walk around the halls of the pyramid, actually touch the walls and feel how it feels inside. Feel the slime or feel the rock. And if there's something carved in it, they can trace their fingers on the carving. And I mean, it's phenomenal, amazing, crazy stuff that's going on right now. Why am I saying this? Well, I'm excited. I just want to share with you. But reality is the future is coming. It's coming fast. And we are all going to live a lot longer than we are thinking. We are going to be healthier. We are going to live longer. Those two things we can guarantee. Lifespan is going to increase with all this stuff coming apart. Okay? And with the new technologies and new scientists and new ways of healing, we're going to be able to live healthy lives until that time. But like in anything else, who gets the best results? The rich. Okay? The rich are going to be the first ones that can afford the treatments. The rich are going to be the first ones that can afford the flying car. The rich are the first ones that are going to take advantage of all these new activities and advancements. That's why you need to do better financially. That's one reason, if nothing else. Okay? The other reason that you need to be trading options, retirement is not coming at 65 anymore. Maybe it still does, technically, legally, whatever. Retirement is 65, but you're not going to live only 20 years after that. You're going to live another 40 years after that. And the money has to last. And if we are living healthily and our minds are still engaged and our minds are still active, or maybe even our minds are getting younger than they are at 80, you need to have a way to constantly make money for the rest of your life. That's trading. There's nothing else that can help you, right? Everything else is going to be changing. They're talking about changes to real estate, where real estate values are going to completely change. I had a friend of mine, she used to work at Toyota, and she was working on a project where they have this box, which is a vehicle, but it's a box, and it drives by itself. And they're working with companies like Nike, Amazon, Visa, MasterCard, all these big companies are working on customizing this box. So for example, let's say you want to buy some workout clothes. You call Nike or you go to the website, whatever, you press a button on your phone, this box shows up to your house. You walk inside and all the clothes are already there. Or you can pick what clothes you want on a screen and it will make the clothes for you in the box. It will print the clothes for you in your size in that box. You no longer will have to go to the store and try things on. Custom-made clothes brought to you to your house or wherever you want it to come. You step in the box, you do your shopping, you don't even have to check out. You basically just take the items, walk out the door of the box, and then the box goes to somebody else. And when you walk out, it scans the items you have, charges your credit card, charges your bank, whatever, and done deal. Now, imagine people start doing that. What do you think is going to happen to the retail industry? Who's going to open a retail store? Very few. What's going to happen to shopping centers? What's going to happen to strip malls? They're all going to go away. Take condition. The other thing he was talking about is transportation, changes in transportation. So we already have electric cars that are gaining momentum, and almost every major brand is now coming out with electric versions of their cars, and they're going almost all electric soon, maybe in the next 5-10 years. But the self-driving car is where everybody wants to get to. And so far, Tesla is the fastest. It's the one that's the most there. And that's why they're selling so many, because of the self-driving feature, I think. That's the only reason I want one. But the thing is that the self-driving part is not the only thing that's going to come in the next 10 years. Flying cars are coming in the next 10 years. Not only that, but they have rocket ships that they can fine-tune so that they can travel in the Earth's atmosphere. And they can take you from, if let's say you get out of your car, you're living somewhere in the middle of the country. Let's say you're living in Iowa. Okay. You're living in Boise. No, not Boise. Boise in Idaho. Wherever. You're fine. You're living in Boise, Idaho. Okay. You get out of your house. You need to get to London for a meeting. Okay. You take your self-driving car to the local air park. You go there. You drive. You go up to the top, get into a flying car that goes 200-300 miles an hour. That thing takes you to the shuttle launch bay, which is probably in the biggest city nearby. That thing puts you on a rocket ship that takes you all the way to London. You get there within 45 minutes. So from house to London, 45 minutes travel time. What is that going to open up? People are going to be able to live anywhere they want, right? People are not going to want to live in the big cities anymore with all the congestion and traffic and all that stuff. Especially now with COVID and everything, people are leaving the big cities because they want freedom. They want more land. They want to get away from people. So we've already seen that exodus of people leaving the cities. When transportation speeds up and gets to this level, real estate prices are going to go in the toilet. So if people are thinking, hey, I'm just going to buy a whole bunch of rental houses, it'll work for a while. I can't tell you exactly it's not going to work, but there's a good chance that disruption is coming in real estate. There's a good chance it's coming. Will it come in trading? It probably will. Something will change. But for now, that's the best option that I think we have. I think you should also diversify, have some real estate houses, have some other things, other investments. That's great. Do it all. But be able to adapt, be able to change, and know that you're going to be living longer. You're going to be healthier. There's no, I want to do this tomorrow. No, do it now, and it'll pay off for decades. And then hopefully it'll pay off for generations. Okay? Because you can teach your children, you can generate the wealth for them, you can teach them how to generate wealth, you can build up an empire, you can build up a legacy, whatever you want to do, because you're going to have plenty of time. Okay? We have a friend, he's unfortunately in kidney failure right now. They've taken him off dialysis. We don't know how long he has to live, but if he can last another few years, he can be saved. And this is for people that are suffering with MS. People that are suffering from Alzheimer's, people that are suffering from all these diseases that basically rob you and eventually kill you. If they can survive a few more years, another decade, they will be able to be saved. Or their lives will be extended enough that eventually there might be a cure in another 20 years, or 25 years, or 30 years, whenever the cure comes out. But they will be able to be kept alive and their life will be able to be extended. It's not a death sentence in the same way that we understand it now. And so, yes, the world is changing. Science is going nuts. It's going crazy. I was listening to another podcast about a guy who works with health startups, a lot of companies that are health startups. And what he was saying is that in the past, they had a saying for R&D, for research and development about health, it takes decades to move seconds. So what that means is basically that it would take decades to get anything new approved, to get anything new adopted by the health and the medical community. Because you're dealing with lives and they don't want to get sued and they don't want to take chances. So when you're dealing with a hospital, when you're dealing with the government, to get a new process approved, there's a lot of bureaucracy, there's a lot of red tape, there's a lot of things you got to go through. And so it would take forever to get one small little thing changed. Now that we have COVID, everything is topsy-turvy. And so now they are moving decades in seconds. And what I mean by that is they're getting things approved in days that would have taken years. They're trying new things. They're adapting technology that they wouldn't have even bothered to look at before. And so in the past, there was a hospital chain that he was talking about. This hospital chain was seeing patients, 7% of their visits were virtual. 7% were virtual visits to the doctor or the follow-ups or whatever. After COVID, 99% of their visits were virtual. It takes a big shift in thinking and process and procedures in order to do that. And these hospitals in these medical communities, they're doing that because in essence, they do want to help people and save lives, right? That's their goal. That's the whole purpose of the medical community. And so they're going to do whatever they have to do to get it done. And if that means they're going to accept all these new changes because of the way everything is restricted now, then they're going to make that happen. But the point of this podcast, the guy I was listening to was saying that because of this coronavirus and the changes that all these new companies are putting out and all of the medical community is actually accepting, it's going to really move healthcare light years in the future. We're really leapfrogging in terms of what is possible, what is doable. And so all of this stuff is all coming together. They've already making all these advancements, but now you have receptivity by the medical community and they're listening and they're looking and they're saying, hey, what else can we do? What else is cool? What else can we implement? We are in a very, very exciting time. Very exciting. Pick up that book. It'll blow your mind. It blew my mind. This is the second time I read it. And this is another thing. This book is about a year old, I think. It came out like a year ago. And it takes about a year or two to actually write a book and publish it and get it out in the market, right? So this information in this book is like 2-3 years old. It's not even up to date. It's 2 or 3 years old. That means we're 2 or 3 years closer to the end result. And when I'm talking about like flying cars and whatnot, I'm not talking about some small unnamed company. We have companies like Uber that are putting billions of dollars into this. This is not small time stuff. All these technologies, all these advancements, billions of dollars are flowing into these areas. And that's why all these technologies are coming faster than you think. So remember, you are going to be living longer than you think. You're going to be healthier than you think. And so you need to be richer than you think you need to be. And the thing is, you don't even have to have the money in the bank. You don't need to have $10 million. You need a way to be generating income. And income is more important than what you have in the bank, right? Your net worth or your nest egg, not as important as how much money you can be generating on a month-to-month basis. So let this be a wake-up call. If you have not started saving, if you have not started trading, it's not too late. Even if you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, we still have people in their 80s emailing us saying, hey, I want to get started. Awesome. That is great. Start small, buy a couple shares, do a couple options. You're going to have to do it because you're going to be living a lot longer. And so that is exciting. But in financial terms, it can be scary. Because if you're not in a good financial place now, you have the time to fix it. But you got to take action. You got to start. So start today. Start moving. If you don't know where to start, get my free book, Passive Trading. It's still free. Go to passivetrading.com/free book and just get the book. Start reading. Look what's possible. Start implementing. Start playing with it. Learn more about it, and make a plan and start getting to what you need to be. All right. So again, the name of the book was The Future is Faster Than You Think. Pick it up, read it, learn, have your mind blown. My book, Passive Trading. Again, that's passivetrading.com/free book. Or if you want, you can go to Amazon, get it from there. The ebook is also on Amazon. You can get it from there, the Kindle version. The audiobook is also about to hit shelves. We just uploaded it or got everything done yesterday. And so it will take 2 weeks, I believe, to get them approved and on all the bookstores. So it's going to be on Amazon Audible, it's going to be on iTunes, it's going to be on Barnes & Noble, whatever. The audiobook is coming. Give it a couple weeks. If you're a listener, obviously you're listening to the podcast, or you're a listener, if you want to get that, you can get that as well. But still, start doing it. Get better, right? And if you want to get better, reach out to us. We'll show you how we'll help you, how we can do what we can do for you. And just be excited. Things are going to shift really, really, really fast. So remember, take care and trade with the odds in your favor. Are you ready to get started with passive trading and be a consistent and confident and profitable trader, generating cash flow consistently from the stock market? Well, I have some great news for you. For a limited time, we are offering my new book, Passive Trading, for free. All you got to do is go to passivetrading.com/free book, and we will send you the book in the mail for free, as long as you cover the postage and handling. So if you can cover that, we'll send you the book for free. We've already printed it. We got it for you. We're going to send it out to you. It's free. All you got to do is just go to passivetrading.com/free book and learn the basics of passive trading. Get the behind the scenes, get some examples, learn the strategies, and put this stuff to work in your life right now. Remember, go to passivetrading.com/free book and get yours now while this offer is still available.